Hello, I'm Mike McKee, the Chair of the General Counsel and Finance Administration, and I've been working with GCFA, its members of the board, and also its employees for 10 years now, and 8 of those have been as the Chair. I've so enjoyed that, but I want to reflect on some things happening on the last day. I have to admit that I'm recording this 2 or 3 weeks before they will be shown. And I'm in Dallas, Texas, at Perkins School of Theology, and reminded by standing here that it was in 1968 in Dallas, Texas, that the merger of the EUB and the Methodist Church happened and became the United Methodist Church. That seems like a long time ago, but time has a way of going fast sometimes. I'm reminded about each general conference that I've attended that the last day can be the most challenging day. It can be a challenging day because it seems like we are not complete yet with everything that we're to do, and it seems like the flow of legislation is longer than we can imagine it. It is also the time in which we begin to finally look at the budget, what may be missing, and it is as if everybody has an idea about something. But you as the staff, you've been so very good about attending to those kinds of things that happen throughout the general conference. I want to thank you for your work all of the time, but on especially this last day and the day to come, because this is a day in which people leave general conference. Some of them will be very happy. Some of them will be very angry. Some of them will be very disappointed. And it is as if that somehow we forget why we really gather at a general conference, the United Methodist Church. Sometimes it feels like a major legislative event that now begins to sort of look like the U.S. Congress or even some other political places that happen around the world. But let's remember that we are the church even in the midst of this meeting in Charlotte. We are the church today. We'll be the church when we leave. I'm always struck by John Wesley's sermon on the Catholic spirit. And in that he uses a verse, and I'm going to modify that a little bit and say from 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 15. And it is this, and it is well known. If your heart is as my heart, then let's join hands. I pray to God that if there's one thing that happens today on the last day is that when we leave here, we will not leave angry. We will not leave sad and disappointed. It will not be perfect, but that somehow we will reflect and ponder on that which lies before us, not what has just happened. Things that some of us may want to have happen will not have happened. Some things will happen. But let us remember that our focus is on basically our own ministry in Jesus the Christ, or for Him. Let us remember also that there's so many more important things, and that is what's happening in the world, than somehow getting our way about everything. And I will admit, there are things of which I want to see that are past. But I've made a commitment to myself that instead of coming out, no matter any outcome, angry, disappointed, and just in disbelief, I'm going to walk out with United Methodist like we're going to walk out. Some of us going to realize that the person who's walking beside us, we know, opposed us on everything, but we will walk out knowing that the future of our church is not only in our Christ hands, but in our hands. We'll also know that our hearts are mainly the same, and that is this love of our Christ and the understanding of God's grace through His own life and His own death and His resurrection. We're going to leave this place knowing that each of us, whether clergy or lay, have been called to vocation about being a disciple for Jesus Christ. We're going to leave this place knowing that somehow we're going to represent the United Methodist Church, knowing that it is never perfect, but knowing that as we leave, that our hearts are like others' hearts, and we will take their hands and walk out in ministry to all God's children around the world. So, if your heart is as my heart, will you join my hand as we walk from the convention center at Charlotte and leave the next day? God bless you, and I hope you have a very good day on the last day of General Conference. Peace.